right here.
Hi, so I'm Grace from the AFM. I was just wondering, how has AI helped you personally within your role recently, and what do you use it for now?
Actually, it's a great question. So first of all, let me just say thank you for all of you attending our keynote this morning. It's a great time to talk about all of our technologies. You know, I think AI is touching all of our lives. You know, myself personally as well. I think I am an avid user of GPT and Copilot and all of these things. And more importantly, actually, I'm very, very focused on AI being used within AMD. So as much as we like to talk about AI for our customers, we also really prioritize AI for making our company a better company. So things like how do we build better chips? How do we build faster chips? How do we put AI through our entire development pipeline, as well as for things like marketing, sales, HR, all of those various pieces. So it is very much AI is everywhere.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, right here in the second row.
Thank you. I'm from Reuters. Since last year, NVIDIA has made clear to investors it plans to shorten its release cycles annually, and now AMD has followed suit. How are you able to achieve that? Thank you.
Yeah, well, I think it really is very much what we see in the market. So AI is clearly our number one priority as a company, and we have really harnessed all of the development capability within the company to do that. We've increased investments. We're going to continue to increase investments. I think this annual cadence is something that is there because the market requires newer products and newer capabilities. I'm also a believer in that the product portfolio is there so that we can address a broad set of workloads. And that doesn't mean every customer is going to use every product, but it means that every year we have the next big thing such that we always have the most competitive portfolio. So it is about more investment. It's about ensuring that both hardware, software, systems are all part of it, and we're very committed to it as our largest strategic opportunity.
Thank you. Okay, our next, I think I saw this hand back here.
Thank you. I'm with CNN. Just wonder if you could speak to the importance of being here in Taiwan and Taiwan's role in the global supply chain and what you do, and also speak the bigger picture in the region with China, both the chip makers in China and also the military drills we just saw, and how they could potentially impact things.
Yeah, I mean, let me take a step back and say that the semiconductor ecosystem is a global ecosystem. So there is, when we think about product development, our product goes through every part of the globe. We do research around the world. Taiwan, in particular, is very, very important to the semiconductor ecosystem. We do a lot of our manufacturing here with key suppliers, like TSMC, like many of our back-end partners. And many of our substrate partners are here as well. And then we also have a number of partners that help us build out the ecosystem here in Taiwan, like our ODM partners, as well as a number of contract manufacturers. So I think the bottom line from our perspective is it's really important to have a global ecosystem, and Computex is a great place where everybody comes together. I think you can feel it a little bit this week. I think it is a special week, and the way I think about the overall global ecosystem, as I said, we are very much a believer in a global semiconductor supply chain, as well as customer chain, as well as partner chain, and that's the way we operate. Thank you.
Hi, Mark. Hi, Mark Hock from PC World. So Strix obviously has a sharp jump in TOPS, but as you pointed out, TOPS costs money. Can you give me a sense for how do you see NPU TOPS scaling relative to CPU, GPU going forward?
Yeah, it's a great question, and that's why I was sort of kidding with Pavin on stage. Nothing is for free when you look at, especially in these products that are both from a overall power standpoint as well as just overall cost standpoint. But I think what we're seeing is AI will truly be everywhere. So, our expectation is that, the current Copilot Plus PCs and, Strix at, 50 plus tops will start more at the higher end of the stack. But we would expect that you will see AI throughout our entire stack as we go forward. And you're going to see at the top end that we're going to continue to scale the tops because we are big, big believers in the more local tops you have, the more capable your AI PCs are going to be. We believe people are going to value that, and so it's worth it to put it on chip locally. And if you think about it, it helps offload some of the cloud usage.
Okay, let me come over here. Yes, right here. Yeah. It's on.
Last week you said AMD are going to use the 3 nano process technology with gate all-around architecture-related AI chips. Because Samsung is the only player that use GAA in 3 nano process. Does it mean that AMD are going to choose the Samsung foundry for the new chips?
Yeah, I think you're referring to maybe a keynote that I gave in Belgium. Was that in Belgium last week? Yes, at IMEC. So what we were talking about is AMD is always going to use the most advanced technology, and we're certainly going to use 3 nanometer. We're certainly going to use 2 nanometer and beyond. We did not say specifically that we're going to use any particular vendor for 3 nanometer or gate all around. Our current partnership with TSMC is very strong. We talked about some of the products in 3 nanometer that we're doing right now. Thank you.
Hi, Christopher Jakubik from CRN Poland. I have a question about sustainability because all we know that AI means more consumption power. And my question is to you as a chip vendor. From your perspective, is it possible to maybe not minimize, but at least optimize amount of power consumption by the devices which use AI-driven chips? Thank you very much.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, energy efficiency is probably as important as performance for everything that we do, and especially for AI chips going forward. So one of the things that we look at is how do we improve the energy efficiency with each generation going forward. And we had previously said that we would actually improve the energy efficiency by 30 times from 2020 through 2025. We're now on track to exceed that energy efficiency target, and we expect to get to 100x improvement in energy efficiency over the next 4 or 5 years. So the answer to your question is yes, it's possible to be very, very focused on energy efficiency, and we must all do that because power will be one of the largest limiters of computing going forward if we don't focus on that. Thank you.
Actually, I think I saw your hand first, please. Yep, right here, second row. Second row, thank you.
Hello, Adrian for Friends. There was the CPU, there was the GPU. Now we talk about the NPU. How do you see the scalability of the NPU one, and what is going to be the next kind of chip? Do you think about neuromorphic or another kind of chip?
Well, I think what we try to say is that you need to have the right engine for each workload. So when you had, CPU is very, very good for sort of more traditional workloads. GPU has been great for graphics processing and gaming. And then NPU is really there to help us for AI-specific acceleration. And I think it's very natural that we add all of these new engines. I think as we go forward, we always look at some specific types of, let's call it new acceleration technologies. I think we will see some of those going forward, and it very much is application-driven.
Second row, thank you.
Hi. One of your big ways you upset Intel was continually moving forward with core counts on the client side, kind of upsetting them entirely. But you have topped out pretty much at 16 for a few generations now. Do you feel that that's sufficient for maybe the gaming enthusiast desktop PC market, or should we expect to see that increase in the future?
Yeah, you're talking about gaming PCs. I think what our strategy has been is we have to continually increase performance, and no question about it. I think for gaming in particular, the gaming sort of software developers have not necessarily used all of the cores from time to time. We'd like them to use more cores, you know that. So there's no physical reason we couldn't do more than 16 cores. I think the key is, and you know that we do that in some of our pro lineup, and the key is just making sure that we are going at a pace that the software guys can utilize it and do utilize it.
And just a quick follow-up. With desktop PCs specifically, do you see the need for a more of an efficiency-geared NPU accelerator? Do you see that being added to desktop PCs, or will that be in unpower constrained environments?
I think we do see the NPU having impact in desktops. I don't know, Josh, if you want to add anything to that.
Yeah, we do. We added the NPU in the Phoenix, right, for desktop. We do the same thing for Strix. We're constantly evaluating that, so we actually see the NPU because it's also power management in those plugged into the wall. So yeah, you'll see future products that will consider adding the NPU to further expand our portfolio.
Okay, yes, right here. The mic's. Yep, stay right here. I'm gonna come check on this side of the room.
Varun from Phone from India. I mean, you surprised everybody with the time to market. Now you're saying in July your AI-based PCs will be hitting the market. So, and coming back to the tops, you showed that you are better than the competition. I mean, leading the chart. So your thoughts on the competition, including you showed even the rumored Luna Lake from Intel also on your slides, and also beating the Snapdragon X32. So your thoughts on how you're able to achieve that?
Yeah, so our goal is always to be very competitive on all of these fronts. As it relates to AI PCs, this is really our third generation of AI PC capabilities. So the XDNA architecture is something that we have really innovated a lot on top of. And as we go forward, we're going to keep innovating. So I think third gen Ryzen AI is going to be the highest tops in the marketplace, and we do think it'll be very, very powerful to accelerate all of those AI applications. And as the question earlier said, we're going to continue to drive more tops, more capability, and also get it to mainstream price points as well.
And you're confirming availability by July, right?
We are, yes, absolutely. You heard it from our partners today.
Yeah, let's come up here, first row, please. Right, yes, right here.
Hi, from Chips and Cheese. So you guys have been talking about ROCm on. You didn't mention it in the keynote, but ROCm on more consumer-focused GPUs. What do you think about ROCm on, say, APUs for wider device accessibility?
Yeah, I think the broad comment about ROCm on AMD I think is important. So our focus with ROCm has been first on the data center GPU side, and certainly that's where a lot of the effort is. That's where the highest performance is, and a lot of the ROCm work is around performance tuning. But we want people to be able to use ROCm on all devices, and so we have started to qualify some of the ROCm on Radeon. And I think over time, we'll see ROCm on APUs as well.
Good. We haven't got any questions from this side of the room. Yeah, why don't we come up here to this second row, please?
Hi, I'm Gardner. Could you comment on how long for Monterey 21, alongside the I/O die used in the Zen 4 lineup, will be supported and utilized in future chips?
I'm sorry, I didn't catch the
first part.
The earlier part?
For Monterey 21, the chipset currently used in X670 and I'm assuming X870, how long will that continue to be utilized in future desktop chipsets?
I might need somebody to help me with that. Do you know?
Yeah. Here, Jack, hold on.
Sorry.
By the way, this is Jack Yoon. He is the Senior Vice President and General Manager of our computing and graphics business, which is the PC CPUs, PC GPUs, and then the semi-custom business.
No, so we're working very close with ASMedia on the proprietary chipset. Is that the question? So we've, I think we're looking, as long as the end customer demands that chipset, we have no problem sustaining it.
Thanks, Jack. Sure, right here.
I'm from Australia. Are customers, big developers, big corporates willing to pay a premium for your AI infrastructure? And what are you doing to ensure, in comparison to your competitors, that they're willing to pay for your premium?
Yeah, when you're talking about our AI infrastructure, are you talking about on the infrastructure, like on the data center side or on the PC side?
On the data center at a cloud service provider.
Yeah, I think the way to think about our value proposition in data center is that our goal is to make sure that on a performance per dollar standpoint or on a total cost of ownership standpoint, that we're offering a better value compared to the competition. That is our goal. I think again, we heard from Satya, who Microsoft has done a significant amount of work with us on MI300 and all of our data center infrastructure. And the point is, on these leading large language models, there's optimization that needs to be done. We've co-engineered and worked very closely between the AMD and Microsoft team. And today, the leading, price performance for GPT workloads is with AMD. So it really is about ensuring that the total cost of ownership is better with our technology.
That was part of the Satya Nadella video that Lisa showed during the event. Sure, right here. This gentleman right here. Yeah.
Thank you. I'm curious. In the title of singularity near of Google's futurist Kurzweil, he said in 2045, the AI can transcend human being. Why AI can beat the champion of which?
Let's see. You're asking why?
Yeah, I'm curious.
Well, yeah, maybe what we should say is that, look, AI is a great technology, and it will only get better with time, but AI is also not perfect, and we need to continue to make it better in terms of the capability, the models, the training, the data, and also just how we utilize it. So I do think AI is going to be excellent at many things. There's a lot of focus right now on, do you get to general intelligence? But I think we're not quite there yet. And our goal at AMD is to make sure that we provide all of the foundational hardware, software, and systems capabilities so that the leading researchers in AI can achieve those biggest milestones.
Thank you, Lisa.
Thank you.
Right here, third row, please.
Hello, my name is Terrence. I'm with my departments across social media. And a lot of my viewers really love kind of upgrading their PCs when it makes sense. So I understand with AI having integrated into CPUs and GPUs, obviously from an engineering standpoint, makes a lot of sense. But a lot of times when viewers just want to slot in a card to upgrade their PCs, like a sound card or a network card, do you see that capability for AI, just to slot in a new AI PCIe card?
Yeah, you're talking about in desktop form factor, notebook form factor. Yeah, look, I do think PCIe cards will have a good amount of capability for AI going forward, and that will be one way people upgrade. Maybe if I take a step back for your viewers, as we think about it, we should think about AI is going to be everywhere, like everywhere. So in our notebooks, in our desktops, in our enterprise environments, in our cloud environments, and you just need the right kind of AI for each of these form factors. What we're trying to do is to make sure that we have the right engines for each one. So for AI PCs, when we talk about notebook PCs, you need a different type of AI engine so that you can still get good battery life, good performance in a small form factor. I think in desktops you have more options. Jack mentioned that we will have AI engines in desktops as well, but absolutely there will be PCIe form factors that you can put into desktops over time. The important thing is we want to make sure that the entire ISV ecosystem is there as well, and there's work that needs to be done to optimize for all of these different workloads.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Oh, I think I saw your hand first. 1, 2, 3, fourth row. Yeah.
Hi, Dave from CIBBMYKL. So obviously going to ask a gaming question. Talked about AI in data center and everything. So where do you see AI's role in PC gaming? Is that just going to be on the development side, or are gamers going to see it themselves as well?
Yeah, absolutely. As I said earlier, I think you're going to see AI everywhere. And AI for gaming, certainly in developers, you'll see that. But I also think that as we go forward, game developers will want to use more AI. Not everything has to be rendered. There's some things that you can do with partial AI, and you're going to see more of that going forward in future development systems.
Okay, we're going to the back of the room over here. We haven't heard from the back of the house. He has his hand raised, backpack on. Yep.
So we heard about the performance figures of the Ryzen 370, the amazing performance figures, but we didn't hear about the power consumption. Something you can share about it?
Yeah. So again, we think that the overall sort of Ryzen 9, the Ryzen HX 370 is going to be excellent in terms of power consumption. Think about all-day battery life, and these are the types of expectations that people have for notebooks.
Do you have a specific figures? Something? I know it varies between models, but
it will vary between models, and you'll see more at launch.
Yeah, as we get a little closer to the July launch, we're going to be doing more technical briefings for the press. Systems will be available, that type of thing.
I'm sure you will want to test some.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Yes.
I saw you. Yes, she's in the back row. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep. Yeah.
Would you please share more details of the AI research center that AMD is investing in Taiwan? It seems like Thailand and the Kaohsiung government are working on this and hope you can choose their place as the location. Would you please comment on it?
Yeah, so maybe say overall, Taiwan is a very important area for us to do research and development. We already have over 1,000 people here doing significant amount of development for all of our product portfolio, including our PCs, our data center, as well as our supply chain. We are always looking at how do we partner in R&D in the region, and so we're continuing to look at what we do in Taiwan. I probably don't have any exact information on the R&D centers at this moment, but we're looking at all options.
Thank you, Lisa. Yeah, why don't we come right here, and then I'll come back there. So front row here, and then third row, same section.
Yeah, AMD is the only company that provide so many different kind of compute unit that could satisfy the different age need on the market. And AMD is a company that love open standard and open source. It's an important thing. What's your opinion about the democratized AI and the importance of open AI?
Yeah, I completely agree with your comments and characterization. I think that there's a couple of key points about our philosophy. First is you need the best engines. So there's not only one engine. So it's CPUs, it's GPUs, it's NPUs. Sometimes it's ASICs, sometimes it's FPGAs. And we have the capability to do all of these engines at AMD. We work very closely with our partners to really think about their use cases and what do they need in the right compute engines. And we work to put that together. To your point about open, we also feel very strongly about an open ecosystem. I think our view is that there's no one company who can do everything. Like there's so many different workloads, there's so many different use cases. Whether you're talking about PCs, or you're talking about edge, or you're talking about cloud, all of these things require different things. And an open ecosystem allows everybody to contribute so that you can get the best solution overall.
Thank you. So yep, we're coming right here. No, yeah, he's right. Yes, thank you.
Martin Gölling, Handelsblatt from Germany. You mentioned AI PCs play a very prominent role this year on the Computex. AI programs will run basically on the device. What does it mean for the computer industry altogether, for the market development, and what does it mean also for the share in your own business between end users and data centers?
Yeah, so I think the way I would say is, again, our belief is that AI is going to be in every product in our portfolio. So it is really critical whether you're talking about data center or you're talking about edge or you're talking about client. I think that's unique about our business in the sense that all aspects of the business require AI. Back to your point about what does it mean from a market standpoint. We've said previously that in the data center, we believe AI accelerators will grow to 400 billion by 2027. It's a huge market opportunity. And we see that the demand for GPUs continues to grow as you think about all of these large training and inference capabilities. That will continue to be sort of a very large focus. When you look at AI PCs, we're very excited about AI PCs because the PC form factor actually hasn't seen such significant change over the last 5+ years. This is probably the biggest change in the PC form factor in certainly in the last decade. And what the AI PC will do is, we believe, really bring sort of new capabilities to the PCs, which will allow us to see the PC market grow over the next few years. So from that standpoint, we're excited about it. We're also excited about the opportunity for PC upgrade cycle to shorten with the AI PC capabilities. And this is really just the beginning. I think this year at Computex, you're going to hear a lot about AI PCs. You're going to see a lot more as we go into the second half of this year and into 2025 as well.
Okay, we have time for maybe just one or two more questions. Okay, so I'll come here. I just see your hand first, and then I'll come up here, right here. Yeah.
Thank you. And I've heard that the ROCm RCM is going to build an open platform or open community. So there are many ISAs other than x86 architecture like ARM or RISC-V. So I'd like to ask about that if the AMD GPUs are working well on this other platform than x86, or is AMD going to improve the GPU performance on these platforms, or are AMD willing to do this? Thanks.
Yeah, I think overall, we're very open to using our GPUs in any platforms. Right now, I would say most of the work is being done on x86, sort of CPUs plus our Instinct GPUs. I think over time, if there were customers that were interested in pairing our Instinct GPUs with ARM or other architectures, we're certainly open to that.
Thank you. Yeah, we had a question here. Yep. And we'll take one more after that.
Hey Lisa.
Hi.
Good to see you. Great presentation again. I often liken where we are in AI right now to where we were in the early 2000s with GPUs. So many vendors, so many different software styles, no unified sort of software ecosystem, and then...
I think she can hear him, but maybe the rest of the group can't. Yeah,
okay.
Talk about that.
So I liken where we are in AI right now to where we were in the early 2000s with GPUs. Lots of players, lots of hardware, lots of different software approaches, no unified system. It took a while for DirectX to come along, and now we have Vulkan. With the fact that AI is split across CPU, GPU, NPU, FPGA, ASIC, will we get a DirectX moment in the software ecosystem? We already have things like Direct Terminal, but nothing seems to be pushing through it. Everybody's pushing their own agenda. Not only you, but the competitors. Where do you see this going?
Yeah, I don't think there's anyone's desire to sort of necessarily push our own agenda. I would say that, from our perspective, an open ecosystem is the best ecosystem. I think what you're seeing, Ian, is that the hardware is changing so fast because the algorithms are continuing to change so fast as well. So, if you think about it, actually up until very recently, CPUs were actually where you did the majority of AI, and now you've seen GPUs and sort of other accelerators come in. I do think over time things will settle out a little bit more in terms of sort of which engines for which workloads. But yeah, I wouldn't say it's necessarily there's too many things. I would just say there are lots of different workloads, and we're at the place where we want to put AI across every product portfolio. Every part of sort of the market will require some type of AI, and we're trying to innovate as quickly as possible, and that's perhaps the priority.
Thank you. Okay, our last question here in the front row. Yep, I think you're closest. Well, yeah. There we go.
I have a personal
question I wanted to ask. Could you share one of the most important advice you have for the women working in the teaching industry? It's important to me.
Thank you. Well, I would say that it's a really exciting industry. Technology is a really exciting industry, and we need the most talented men and women, in this industry. And what I like to tell people, it's probably my most important piece of advice, is that again, men or women, young or old, engineer or not, running towards problems is my best piece of advice, because we're here at a place where there's so many interesting problems to solve, and if, as an engineer, that's what I love about it. So if we're able to really pick those problems and work on them, I think they become very good for your career and also very good for the industry.
Thank you. Okay, well, we'll end on that note. Lisa, thank you so much. Thank you guys so much for being part of this.